A note on that item, a note for 2012, and it's probably been a note for the last 2 or 3 years. There's constantly, in the face of declining enrollment, pressure to reduce budgets. And the inclination is often to simply focus on how to cut student opportunities and reduce program. I often go to boards where people are saying, well, we don't have a choice. We have to reduce the budget by $50,000. We are going to eliminate the XYZ program as a result. And that is necessary, and many of you on this webinar have had that experience, and I don't want to underestimate the size of the issue and the significance of it. I would urge you in this context of this webinar to continue to be creative in the way you think about it. And couple of ideas. One is that most of you are aware of Act 156, Act 153, and then Act 156. It does encourage boards to think creatively in a wide open way about what I would call joint ventures or mergers. Not necessarily about consolidation. I heard someone say the other day that consolidation is what somebody else does to you. Joint ventures and mergers are voluntary efforts where boards come together and say, is there a way that we can do more with less money? Is there a way that we can preserve a program by doing it with somebody else that we can't do by ourselves simply because we don't have the numbers? So we would urge you, even now in the budget process, to be thinking about, are there things we could do, and should we take advantage of the supports and the incentives that have been offered by the legislature to take a look at those things? And it's pretty wide open. We're glad to talk more with you about those ideas if you want to explore any of them. The other comment I would make is that I've heard people say we are in the business of managing in a scarce environment. We're managing scarcity. But I've also heard boards say, if we switch our thinking around, that in fact, in some respects, we are managing in an environment of abundance. The fact is that our communities have amazing resources. Our businesses, our private organizations have lots of opportunities for kids to do different kinds of community-based learning. There are resources in the community that can be tapped. We don't have a list of 10 things that you ought to run out and do. This is simply a pitch that when you're in these budgeting conversations over the next few weeks, that you give thought to that question about whether there are resources that you could tap into.